Last night's Late Show with Stephen Colbert descended into complete chaos when Woody Harrelson walked off set after a heated confrontation about marijuana legalization and corporate pharmaceutical interests. The True Detective star didn't just leave quietly. He exposed something about Colbert's show sponsorships that CBS lawyers are now scrambling to address. But what started as promotion for Harrelson's new environmental documentary would reveal disturbing connections between late-night television and Big Pharma. The Ed Sullivan Theater carried unusual tension before taping. Woody Harrelson arrived to discuss his documentary about sustainable farming, but Colbert's writers had prepared an ambush about Harrelson's cannabis advocacy. A production assistant later revealed that pharmaceutical company Pfizer, one of the show's major advertisers, had specifically requested Colbert challenge Harrelson's anti-medication stance. Therefore, when cameras rolled, Harrelson could already sense something corporate was at play. Colbert opened with his typical monologue, including jokes about stoner culture and Hollywood hippies who think weed cures everything. Harrelson waited backstage, and crew members noticed him shaking his head at the monitor. "Please welcome Woody Harrelson," Colbert announced. The actor walked out to moderate applause, his body language immediately guarded as he sat down. "Woody, great to have you here," Colbert began. "So another documentary about how corporations are evil and plants are magical." Harrelson stared at him. "That's how you want to start this, Stephen?" he asked quietly. "Just wondering when you became a scientist. Or are you still just playing one on TV?" Colbert pressed. "I'm not a scientist. I'm someone who's seen cannabis help people with seizures, cancer treatment, PTSD. Real suffering, real relief," Harrelson replied calmly. "Or real delusion. Actual medicine goes through trials, not just anecdotal evidence from celebrities," Colbert said dismissively. Therefore, the pharmaceutical talking points were obvious. Harrelson leaned forward. "You know who funds those trials? The same companies that advertise on your show. The ones selling opioids that kill thousands while marijuana kills zero," he said. "That's conspiracy thinking," Colbert accused. "Is it? Should we discuss your show's sponsorship deal with Purdue Pharma?" Harrelson asked. The studio went silent. Colbert's face paled. "We don't have deals with Purdue," he said quickly. "Not anymore. But you did. Right up until their bankruptcy. You took money from opioid dealers while mocking cannabis advocates," Harrelson revealed. He pulled out papers. "These are your show's advertising contracts. Pfizer, Merck, Johnson & Johnson. Combined, they pay you $12 million annually. No wonder you're attacking plant medicine," he said. "Those are confidential documents," Colbert protested. "So is people suffering while you push corporate drugs," Harrelson shot back. The audience was stunned. But Harrelson stood up, his intensity building. "You know what's really sick? Veterans using cannabis for PTSD get mocked on your show while you push advertisements for antidepressants with suicide warnings," he said. "Medicine has side effects," Colbert defended weakly. "Cannabis doesn't cause suicide, but the drugs you advertise do, which is really dangerous," Harrelson demanded. He turned to the audience. "This man takes millions from pharmaceutical companies, then attacks natural alternatives. That's not comedy. That's corporate propaganda," he told them. "You're being paranoid," Colbert accused. "Am I? Play the clip from 2 weeks ago where you mocked CBD for seizures. Then explain why you didn't mention your sponsor makes competing seizure medication," Harrelson challenged. Colbert couldn't respond. The conflict of interest was undeniable. But Harrelson had more. "Your writer's room has a mandate to never criticize pharmaceutical companies. Your staff told me. You're literally paid to attack alternatives to corporate medicine," he revealed. "That's not true," Colbert said desperately. "Then let's call your head writer. Ask him about the Pfizer meeting where they specifically requested anti-cannabis content," Harrelson suggested. The revelation that pharmaceutical companies were dictating content was explosive. Several audience members booed. Others looked disgusted. But Harrelson wasn't done. "You know what kills more people annually? Prescription opioids or marijuana?" he asked Colbert. "This is getting off topic," Colbert deflected. "Answer the question. Which kills more?" Harrelson pressed. Colbert wouldn't answer. But Harrelson could. "Opioids killed 70,000 Americans last year. Cannabis killed 0. Ever. In history. But you mock one, and advertise the other, he said. He walked toward the exit. I'm done with this show. I'm done pretending pharmaceutical-funded television cares about public health, he declared. You're just anti-science, Colbert called out desperately. Harrelson turned back. I'm anti-corruption. There's a difference between science and marketing disguised as science. You're doing the second, he said. Cannabis isn't medicine, Colbert insisted. Tell that to the child whose seizures stopped. Tell that to the veteran who stopped needing opioids. Tell that to my friend who kept food down during chemo because of marijuana, Harrelson replied. He looked directly at the camera. Don't trust anyone who profits from your sickness. Whether they're selling pills or selling you propaganda about pills, he said. The philosophical point landed perfectly, but Colbert made one last attempt. You're destroying public trust in medicine, he accused. No, I'm exposing public manipulation by pharmaceutical companies using shows like yours, Harrelson corrected. He revealed one final bombshell. By the way, your personal doctor prescribed you medical marijuana for back pain. But you still mock it publicly because Pfizer pays you to. That's not just hypocrisy. That's evil, he said. The studio erupted. The audience was in complete chaos. Colbert's mouth opened and closed speechlessly. The revelation that he used marijuana while mocking it for money was devastating. We'll be right back, Colbert managed to say, but his voice was broken. Within minutes, #Harrelson exposes pharma was trending worldwide. The connection between pharmaceutical advertising and anti-cannabis content went viral. Investigative journalists began examining late-night sponsorship deals. CBS was flooded with complaints about undisclosed conflicts of interest. The FCC received demands for investigation into payola-style content manipulation. Pharmaceutical companies distanced themselves from the controversy. Harrelson released a statement. Television that's funded by drug companies isn't entertainment. It's advertising. When they attack alternatives to corporate medicine, follow the money. The impact was immediate. Other late-night shows faced scrutiny about their pharmaceutical sponsors. Several announced they would no longer accept drug advertising. The conversation about media manipulation by Big Pharma exploded. Colbert's show lost massive viewership. Trust was shattered. How could viewers believe anything when content was dictated by sponsors? The revelation about his personal marijuana use while publicly mocking it became a defining hypocrisy. The incident became known as the Pharma Expose. It revealed how pharmaceutical companies use entertainment to shape public opinion against alternatives to their products. Harrelson had exposed not just Colbert, but an entire system of corporate influence. Most significantly, it sparked conversation about marijuana legalization and pharmaceutical opposition. People began questioning why legal drugs that kill thousands were advertised while a plant that kills none was demonized. The empty chair Harrelson left became symbolic of independence from corporate influence, of choosing truth over sponsorship, of walking away from corruption rather than participating in it. Colbert never recovered his credibility. The image of him as a truth-teller was replaced with that of a corporate spokesman. His show, once seen as progressive, was exposed as pharmaceutical propaganda. Woody Harrelson had done more than walk off a show. He'd exposed the marriage between media and Big Pharma, showing how entertainment is used to protect profits over people. The actor who'd played characters fighting corruption had fought it in real life and won.